opened, and some coasters that you see here are probably just predictions and really not in the park. So for instance, we're gonna get started with X2. We're gonna go to the left side, or to the right, and then to the left. So with X2, this roller coaster is built by Aerodynamics. It is the first 4D coaster to open in California, and yeah, this is a really good coaster. I was gonna put this in a Magic Mountain scenario, but it's not possible. But I'm gonna list all the major coasters, not all of them, but just some major coasters. Hopefully I didn't forget any. So yeah, over here is actually an overall of Viper. As you can tell, this would have been built by Vekoma. I'm sorry, Vekoma, and they would have took out that first loop, and we retract like kind of like what you see on Phantom's Revenge, and give it new trains, but not necessarily trains like you see in Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood, but more trains look like Blue Hawk at Six Flags Over Georgia. So then this is supposed to be called Medusa. So this is basically a color reverse version of Tatsu. And speaking about Tatsu, we're gonna be moving on to Tatsu. So this is actually newly repainted this year, 2022. It opened just after its repaint, I think since March or May of this year, and it got repainted. So it's like an Aquaman color. So the height is about 170 feet tall, with 4 inversions. Originally the colors were yellow track with red rails and spines with orange supports, and was repainted in 2022, which is this year. So then the neighbor coaster is the New Revolution, which already had only lap bars when it first opened as Great American Revolution, and then over-the-shoulder restraints were added, and then in 2016 the ride got restored as of new paint job and new trains with lap bar only restraints. That was known as New Revolution, and you see it basically close to the entrance of the park, and it has that one loop. So this is the first looping coaster at Six Flags and Magic Mountain. We're moving on to Gold Rusher. Although I forgot to put Gold Rusher in here, which I'll do right now quickly. Sorry for the inconvenience. We'll look for the Mine Train coaster here. Mine Train. But I don't know if it's gonna definitely fit here. You might have to try to fit this thing in. See, it's really hard to do it. So I might just have to put it in the back of the park here, perhaps. Yeah, there's like no room, so there's a lot of roller coasters in the way, that's why. Maybe we'll just do that. So now we're gonna move on to Gold Rusher. This is the first coaster to add in the park when it first opened. So when you're riding this coaster, you can actually see Full Throttle there, but we're gonna move to that coaster in just a minute here. So this is the Mine Train coaster from Magic Mountain, the first Mine Train coaster at Magic Mountain. It's a family coaster, and it was the first coaster to be in the park. The second coaster was probably Colossus or something. So, yeah. And then when you ride Gold Rush, you can see Full Throttle's loop and zigzag turns. And actually the original color is white and black. I just thought that this color would really pop if it were repainted in the near future. And it seems like Magic Mountain loved the colors on the Full Throttle that I've done here. It's supposed to be a midnight blue with red rails and white supports. It absolutely looks good. This is Premier Ride's multi-launch coaster. It launches you on that 160 feet tall loop, and it goes to a backwards launch off that dive drop element, and launches again, and goes through a top hat, and the ride's over. So good ride, absolutely good ride. So it opened back in 2013. It's a successful coaster, but very short. A lot of people complain that it's too short. Should have made it a longer bit of a ride, but you know, it's still fun to ride. Don't get me wrong. Then the next ride we will be discussing is another launch coaster at the park. Superman's Escape from Krypton is also a short roller coaster. Goes up, goes down, and then there's either side you're facing forward or the other side's facing backwards. So you go up, speeds up to 100 miles per hour out of the station with LSM launch, and you go up the spike and you fall back down to Earth again, and the ride is over. Pretty short ride, but it's still fun. And right attached next to it is Lex Luthor's Drop of Doom. This is not really a roller coaster, but I like to discuss it because you know Superman is right there. So the ride is totally 415 feet tall, very intense. Haven't ridden it yet, but looks fun. So, Drop of Doom, you climb up and go down, 85 miles per hour. And then another tall coaster in the park is Goliath. This is a prediction of a possible new repaint color scheme. The new color scheme in Goliath. Like I said before, I've spot black supports on Instagram with coaster element, and it seems like pink may be the color because black is a neutral color, and I just think that pink goes well, and there's nothing like it at the park. And then moving on next door with Goliath. Actually, before I move on, Goliath is actually a Gaia Vanilla Hypercoaster. People were wondering when they're going to build a B&M Hyper and remove Goliath, and the answer is never. They won't touch Goliath because it's still a fun ride. But it's getting a new paint job. We might end up seeing the new paint job by next year, which hopefully that goes well. This coaster opened in the year 2000. I think it opened February 11th, the year 2000. So really a lot of things changed on how we build roller coasters, and so basically, you know, things are getting better and better. So look at that glorious Goliath. And right next door is Twisted Colossus. This was actually a CCI coaster before it got converted into a RMC hybrid and called it Twisted Colossus in 2015. So this coaster is in the Scream Punk district. It's a racing coaster. You go on twice. It's not a separate ride. You go on the ride twice, and it's a whole lot of fun. A lot of people like it. That's why you could get long lines like almost every time you visit. It's a really icon of the park. You could really see it from the freeway, but it only stands 121 feet tall, but you could still see it from the distance when you're driving by. And speaking about icon of the park, we have Scream. You could also see Scream from the freeway. The colors absolutely look good. They've repainted it since 2015 with while building Twisted Colossus. Got a new Scream Punk flavor. This is a mirror image of Medusa at Six Flags Great Adventure. So really cool coaster. It's a floorless coaster, and it opened in the year 2003. So I'm gonna recap on when the rides officially open, the one that I memorized. So yeah. So anyway, then we got the newest coaster, Wonder Woman Flight of Courage. This is an RMC single rail coaster. It's a Raptor coaster, and there was rumors swirling that Magic Mountain may be getting an RMC Raptor. So this opened in July 16th of this year, 2022. So last summer it opened. Actually, this summer it opened. So it's a mirror image of Jersey Devil. It's a near clone of Jersey Devil down at Six Flags Great Adventure. This ride is fun. So that makes me think that you know, Magic Mountain may be getting that B&M Giga anytime soon. And speaking about B&M Giga, we have this purple and green B&M Giga coaster. Same type like Fury 325 or Orion, Kings Island, or Carowinds. And possibly this could be named after Batman's arch nemesis, the Joker. So it's a big ride. It has a lot of floater air. This actually is going to be a lot bigger in reality. But I had no room, so I couldn't build more airtime hills or so. but you do definitely get some crazy floater air on this. And you know, Magic Mountain's missing a floater air thrilled machine here. And we have Batman the Ride. So I don't know what year this would open. This is just my prediction, but B&M Gigas are cool. So anyway, we have Batman the Ride, which is you know, the hero of DC, and he's the one that tries to save the Joker, or possibly not save the Joker, but you know, defeat him, definitely, because that's his villain. So we have, this is a B&M inverted coaster. I think it opened in 1994 as B&M's first inverted coaster. I think, no, the first B&M invert was in Six Flags Great America with this kind of type of ride, the same clone, same layout and everything. Fun fact, this ride got repainted back in 2010. The ride was originally gray and white, or you can probably say white and black, just the same colors as Full Throttle. So, yeah. And then also the arch nemesis of Batman is we have Riddler's Revenge. This is a B&M stand-up coaster, opened in 1998 as their 11th coaster. So this has 6 inversions. Batman had 5 inversions, I forgot to mention that. And Wonder Woman had 3 inversions. So Riddler's Revenge has 6 inversions. This is a unique stand-up coaster. This is probably one of the biggest rides at the park. And you're standing up for across seating. Then we have West Coast Racers. This is a newer coaster built by Premier Rides, the same company who built Full Throttle. This is a dueling Mobius launch coaster. This is similar to Twisted Colossus with the same duel. So, but this one duels a lot. Twisted Colossus like seldom duels. So this is a better coaster than Twisted if it were racing. So 4 inversions. It is a quadruple Mobius coaster. It's not really that intense, but it sure packs a punch still. So right next door we have Apocalypse. Actually, this ride, yeah, opened in 2020. This ride opened in 2009, originally known as Terminator Salvation. So this is Apocalypse. This is a fun classic GCI wooden coaster. The only wooden coaster in the park as of right now, still in operation. Very classic wooden coaster. So originally the ride would have a station flyby, so that's pretty cool. Ninja is another family coaster at the park. It is a suspended swing coaster built by Aerodynamics, and is the only suspended coaster in the park. Yeah, it's a family coaster. Yeah, we have Ninja. So it's a classic family roller coaster. You're hanging, you're swinging side to side while turning around and do these maneuvers. It's a fun little ride, cute little ride for families. Don't say it's bad, but it's a good ride. It's fun, and not totally my favorite, but you know, really cool. Am I missing any other coasters? I think we got all of them already. So basically, you know, all the rides seems to be fun still, but through the years, you know, the roller coasters improve. So, you know, Magic Mountain tries to design them as good as they can. So basically that's all the coasters that I mentioned. So yeah, I discussed all the coasters, you know, how they look like, what I thought, and all that stuff. And totally, you know, they're colorful. I absolutely like the colors on the coasters, you know. Yeah, there's Roadrunner, but that's a kiddie coaster and stuff like that. They need a Wild Mouse coaster, like what they're doing at Cedar Point. They need something like that. They need a Giga coaster. They need another wooden coaster. So there's definitely a lot of things that they could possibly do. So let me know if I'm missing a coaster. Post your comments below if I'm missing a roller coaster, any major roller coaster at the park. But I'm not talking about the kiddie ones, just the big roller coasters, because normally that's what people like to hear. So let me know in the comments if I'm missing a major coaster here. Except for the defunct ones, such as Green Lantern First Flight. So Post your comments below and see what you think here. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.